I'm looking at that
I'm
one.
looking
back
at
there.
I'm hoping that's an original. I bet it is. Can't wait to see the car.
Basically, two cars will stay with us. One is the barn find. That's
Okay.
Mustang number 211.
Okay.
Wow.
It was made the very first day of production line assembly for Mustangs.
Nice.
It's found in the Raleigh-Durham area. It's been in a lot of books, TV shows, and magazines, so it's quite a popular
Pictures
car.
okay, yeah?
The other car that will stay with us, you can't see it from here, but there's a room beyond the stairs to the left, is Mustang number 4, and that's from
Okay.
the New York World's Fair.
Oh, wow.
The hood is up so you can see the vent on it. Basically, it was bolted to a railing. You got into it and took a ride through the Ford Pavilion. Luckily, a doctor was adamant about getting one.
Really?
Because Ford has a tendency to crush and destroy everything. So that's the only one they can find to this day. So
Really?
his family took it, put a motor in it, and they've had it ever since. So it's on loan from them to us. Raffle car tickets are $20 or 3 for $50 if you're interested.
Oh, wow.
The last one I'll tell you about is the gold Mustang all the way down. It only took Mustang a year and a half to meet 1 million cars sold, which is a record to this day for any car, period.
And that's that car.
And they made 50 gold ones to
Wow.
commemorate.
Wow.
There's only 5 of those left. That one actually belonged to Henry Ford II. He kept it a long time, and then he gave it to his butler. So it's on loan from the butler's
Well, that's
family
really
to us.
nice.
Go ahead.
Fun, though, I can tell you that.
Go and find your car. Has the name on the windshield on the right side. Go and put those helmets and stuff in there. Then we'll be up the road.
There you go. You got the green.
Baby. Here's
So,
I think you're over there, brother.
All right.
Oh, yeah.
There, look at the blue. Velocity blue. I'll take it. There we go. All right, you want to open the door?
I don't know if it's our wimpy instructors or really smart students who came over here into the sun. That was a group decision there.
It was a team effort to make
We were sitting in the shade yesterday going, oh, why did we do this?
How cool. So we got, yep, radios coming on. Roll cage in the back. We got velocity blue today.
Did you crank your radio?
We are on.
Let me remember what they said. This isn't coming out.
As we make our way on over to Speedway here, gang, we are on private property here, so all these stop signs that we're gonna just roll on through, you can kind of just take those as a suggestion. And you'll see that there are lots of humps and bumps and undulations in the road here. All this land is former landfill, so these roads were all nice and flat when they were paved. And now there's lots of distance, so we're just going to take it nice and easy here so we don't scrape those front splitters out of the tunnel when we finish our last day.
Look at this.
People are going to start driving it. Off to the right, as you come through the tunnel, you'll see the go-kart track there. They just completely redid that go-kart track, made it like twice as wide. It's 40 feet wide now. We have all sorts of national go-kart races here. So again, we're going to be operating out of the Cup garage here. So when all the NASCAR races are here, this is the garage area that the Cup teams operate out of. Over to the left there, that's the Xfinity garage. So you're going to be coming out of the garage area from these open stalls right here. Okay? So we're going to come out of the garage and we'll turn to the right. And if you just follow these white lines, this is going to bring us around and up onto pit road. Alright, so as we make our way on down to the end of pit road here, drivers, you're going to see a stop sign. And we'll stop at the stop sign. So you're going to see a course worker down here, Chuck. He is going to be the one that controls the traffic on the track. So whenever Chuck tells your instructor to go, you will go with the instructor, right? We're going to stay in our group, and we're going to head on out onto the track. So come on out here, gang, and follow me. Alright, so before every corner, you're going to see a neon yellow or neon green cone. And then in the middle of every corner, you're going to see another neon yellow or neon green cone. So the ones in the middle of the corner, like this one right down here, this is your apex cone. The apex, right, that's the point at which you want to be closest to the inside of the road. So we want to steer right down by the paint at those neon yellow cones. As you come out of that corner, gang, you kind of let the car move maybe about half the car width to the right. You don't necessarily want to be right on that blue and white line there on your left. Give yourself just a couple of feet. To the brake here before we turn in, as you go just before you go onto the bridge, you'll see your apex cone, right? We want to try to get right down to the paint at the yellow cone. So if you're going to get to it, you got to know where it is, right? So make sure you look for that apex before you start to steer. And then you're going to let the car track back out here to the left. And you're going to give a little brush of the brake. It's a light brake here, kind of settle the car and really help it turn into this next corner. You'll steer right down to the next apex, right? And make sure that you're looking for the yellow cone so you can steer right down to it. As you unwind that wheel, straighten up the steering wheel out onto the straightaway, we'll squeeze that power down. At the one marker there on the left, you need to get on the brake hard for this corner. You'll see your turn-in cone on the left. Again, you'll steer it right down to your apex. And then as you come out of this corner, gang, we're only going to let the car move about 2/3 of the way out to the left. We don't want to go all the way to the paint. We don't need to go all the way over there. But then we're going to smoothly let the car back over here to the right side of the road. We need to use the brakes here before we turn in. And again, when you get out to this corner, you need to be looking out the side window for where you want to go. There is no useful information for you out the front windshield. Everything you need to know, everywhere you want to go, is out your side window. So that's where you need to be looking, across the top of the side view mirror. Notice there's no apex cone on that curb, so we're going to miss it by a good car width or so. We're going to let the car all the way out to this yellow cone at the top of the hill. Just before you get to that cone, you want to do a lift off the gas pedal. That's going to help the car turn in to your next apex, right down here. Another very late apex corner. The reason that's late apex, we don't want to let the car track too far out. You want to end up just straddling this pavement seam here on the ground. I like to point myself straight towards where the blue paint ends and the white paint meets here. You're going to use some good hard brakes. This corner here, drivers, it requires a lot of patience.
Yeah.
Look across the corner, find your apex.
That's the apex.
Steer right down to the paint here. And then as you come out of this corner, you've got to be very progressive with the gas. Really squeeze it down. Because you still have a lot of steering in, right? So you can't jump hard on the pedal there. Unwind that wheel, let it track back to the left. Give me a good push the brake pedal before you turn in up and over the hill. And really that push on the brake is to help the car turn in, more so than to slow the car. As you come over the hill, you'll see two yellow cones. You guys are missing those apexes by half a car width. Get closer to them. Try to follow right where I go. So you'll see our corner worker there at the top of the hill. Get close to those two yellow cones, and then you can kind of straighten up the steering wheel and let the car move to the middle of the road. Use this compression down here to help the car brake. On the brakes here. And again, we need to be looking out the side window, across the top of your side view mirror for where you want to be in several seconds. You're going to be sort of middle of the road here until you get to where this red and white curving starts. And then we'll smoothly bring the car down to the inside. So we're right at the paint at our apex cone. Again, it's another very late apex corner, but we don't want to let the car track out too far. We want to try to make this a straightaway. You're going to have to use a good amount of brake here for this turn. Look out the corner of the front windshield. Find your apex cone. The car turn right down to it. And now, coming out of this corner, we want to use all the road to the left that we can. We can't straighten the steering wheel, but we can sort of soften up the steering a little bit, which will help us accelerate a little. And then we want to make a diagonal straight across the road. When you get to the 1 marker, we need to be hard on the brake. So we want to be pointed straight as we do that. Looking out the side window, we're going to do this nice late apex. Mark up onto the banking. And I want you to look up ahead and find a Bank of America on the outside wall. Don't look at Charlotte, USA, look up for Bank of America. And we're going to run up here into lane number 2. And we're going to start in lane 2 here. Not nearly as bumpy as lane 1. Now, as we get to the end of the billboards here, where the second whereracinglives.com sign, we're going to smoothly start bringing it down into lane 1. When you get to where it says Charlotte 10 on the outside wall, you want to be all the way down to the bottom of the track there. Now, when you come out onto the backstretch, look up ahead for the dotted white line. I want your driver's seat on top of this top dotted white line. That way, you're straddling the line and that black tar pavement seat. On the brakes hard here, gang. This is a heavy braking zone. This is a long braking zone. You can easily reach triple-digit speeds down here. And then we need to get the car slowed down for our backstretch chicane. So brake hard, get it turned, ease off the brake as you turn in, close to the first yellow, transition back to the right, close to the next yellow, and then we're going to squeeze on the gas and accelerate back up to the banking. Now as we get up here into NASCAR 3, this is where we will do our switches each time. You don't have to do it now, but right when we get to here, the first car in line behind the instructor stays in lane 1. The other cars go by in lane 2. And that first car becomes the last car in line. So pull back up into lane 2 and join the rest of the group. So we'll be at every lap. As you're going around the banking, gang, don't look at the ground 2 car lengths in front of you. Look out that top left corner of the windshield for where you want to be in several seconds. Now, if you look to the left here, you see the 3 white rectangles and then the 2 white rectangles. When you get to the 2, that's a good indicator of when to come off the gas, start squeezing on the brake, dial the car down here to the front stretch chicane. You can brake harder when you're pointed straight down here on the flat. Be patient here, let the car turn through the chicane. Close to that first yellow. The second yellow, as you come out of the chicane, you want to be pointed up the track. You don't want to be pointed at the wall. We want to be pointed up the racetrack. Again, we're going to straddle the top dotted white line. When you get to the 1 braking marker there on the wall, we're going to be on the brakes hard. Looking into the corner, we're We're going to steer right down to our apex. I'll warn you guys that this paint doesn't have quite as much grip as the regular asphalt. So really squeeze on the power coming out of there. Now this is the only turn-in cone that I don't want you to be right next to. I want you to miss that turn-in cone by a solid car width. We don't need to get all the way out there, but we do need to get down to this next apex, right? So when you turn in, you can't see it, but know that it is there, right? Steer it down to your apex, and only about a half a car width from the edge of the road here. Good firm push on the brake as we look into the corner. Down to your apex. Again, you've got to look for it. There's no turn-in cone there. You really need to be looking for it to see it. Again, push on the brake before we turn in for the next corner. And then squeeze on that gas coming out. At the 1 marker, hard braking. Push that brake pedal down. Turning from the yellow down to the next yellow. And about 2/3 of the way out as you come out of that corner. And then smoothly back across to the right. Get your eyes looking out the side window, gang. Find that yellow cone at the top of the hill. That's your next reference. Off the gas as you get to it. That's going to help the car turn in. You kind of drive straight towards the point with the blue and white paint. Another good push on the brake before we turn in. See the cones before you steer the car if you expect to end up close to them. Ease the gas pedal down coming out of the corner. Good push on the brake pedal, help it turn in. Close to both yellow cones. And then let the car move to the middle of the road. Use the compression there to help the car brake. Looking out that side window. Across the top of your side view mirror, look for your apex. Steer to it. And looking out the corner of the front windshield to find your apex before you steer the car there. You gotta look before you leave, gang. See where you want to end up before you ask the car to go there. Nice diagonal across the road to give yourself a little straightaway to brake. And be looking up for that Bank of America on the outside wall. And we'll squeeze the power down up on the banking. And we'll be starting in lane 2. Once you get to that second WhereRacingLives.com time, you're right about halfway around the corner. Smoothly bring it down into lane 1. The banking stays more consistent for you if you're down in lane 1. And then look up ahead to the top dotted white line. Smoothly unwind that wheel so you straddle that top dotted white line. Big hard braking here. Stay on that brake pedal. Make sure you're looking into the corner. Ease off the brake as you turn in. And then remember, as we head back up onto the banking, we'll be doing our switches. Alright gang, so we're going to head back to the pit. So let's stay down here on the flat. Follow me, please. Cross the red tape. And we'll stay down on the apron. This is how everybody else knows that we are coming to pit road. Gives you a good perspective driving along here. If you look up at the banking, you'll see it. It's pretty steep there, right?
session here on the Roval. So again, just a reminder, still looks like there's just 2 of you in your group. And make sure we are in track mode again. Smooth. Alright, here we go, gang. Yellow. on the exit, blue. Good job, guys.
It looks faster.
Oh god. Yeah, they're going way faster than we were. I wonder if he's. I bet she's in
Oh man. Number 23. Do they have the hood vent one yet?
Yeah, it's in it.
No way.
Yeah, I didn't realize it.
So this is testing.
Yep, right here, look. Exposed carbon fiber.
Look at
That's
that.
that's a Ford part.
The weave is definitely messed up
Yep.
on that one, but testing.
Yeah, they want to check durability.
Look at how the weave is messed up.
I know.
But it, I mean, regardless, that is.
Well, I know SIG.
Look at this.
Oh, here too, on the bottom.
All
It's
the
all
parts
Ford
except
parts.
for those side wickers, splitter wickers.
You can buy the side splitters for $900.
Oh,
Yeah,
look
but
at
I
that.
guarantee if Ford comes out, I'm putting them on my car.
Oh yeah, when these come out, I got the carbon fiber.
Get up to 100 miles an hour, and when we reach 100 miles an hour, we're going to jam on that brake and bring it right down to 0. We're going to do multiple passes like that, and that's what our exercise over here is. 0 to 100, then 100 to 0. 0 means you come to a complete full stop. We'll play around a little bit with those RPMs, try those at different levels just to see what the difference feels like. But as you get 0 to 100, you're going to get to 100 before the brake marker down here. The brake marker is our fail-safe. If you haven't gotten to 100 by this sign down here, the sandwich board, yellow, that says brake, then you get on the brakes and come to a complete stop. After you come to a complete stop, it's an easy rollout. We're going to go on a big U-turn and then oval our way all the way back out to the beginning.
Alright gang, so we've got the Cobra button, we're gonna push it. We're gonna go to track apps, hit OK, line lock, OK. From there, it's gonna tell us what we need to do. Follow the prompts. I need to hold OK till it says what to do. Now it says apply and hold the brake firmly. I'm ready to go. When I hit OK, I'm gonna have a 15-second countdown to initialize the burnout. Start the tires spinning. When I want to let it release, I hit the OK button. We'll let go of the brakes. Traction control shuts the power down. Step
Everybody
back.
back up. You're gonna do it. Now get the cameras out. So this is traction control on. Okay? Here it, lock brake. Well, I know I'm going to be loud.